Hi, this is Debbie from Organic Oasis in California, Zone 9B. Today I'm using artificial intelligence to make Tim and my dinner for tonight. I have all these ingredients and I wasn't sure what to make with them. I have all these tomatoes from our garden. Whoops, I just dropped one. I have a winter squash and I have herbs and I have some arugula growing outside. And so I asked ChatGPT what I could make with my delicious vegetables, and it gave me a recipe. It's going to be organic oasis chicken vegetable stew. So I'm really happy to share that with you today. To make this recipe, we start out putting chicken in the pot, chicken thighs. I suppose you could use chicken breast if you wanted. I'm just using the Kirkland organic chicken thighs, boneless and skinless. We then add all the seasonings. So we're going to put in here, the salt and pepper is to taste, but I'm going to put in, I usually just start with a teaspoon of salt, fresh ground pepper. I just took a class on seasoning spices, and it was from a naturopath doctor, and she talked about all the benefits of using spices. And so pepper is really, really, really good for us. And so is cinnamon and turmeric and a lot of other things. So I'm trying to use more in my recipes. I have some, so the recipe actually calls for the salt and pepper to taste and 1 to 2 teaspoons of herbs, thyme, rosemary, or Italian seasoning. I make most of my own seasonings. So I have this Italian seasoning that I made. I'm going to go ahead and just put in 1 teaspoon. And then I'm not going to add rosemary or thyme. I actually don't have those right now, but I have my chili flakes that I love. I grow my own chilies and I dehydrate them. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons in. And then after that, we're going to add the carrots. And I just had the mini carrots and I just chopped them up. We use the mini carrots. Our dogs love them. So we give it to the dogs as treats. So I had mini carrots. I just sliced them, cut them in half. So basically it's 1 cup. I will post this recipe to the actual ingredients or the recipe that I got from ChatGPT. Next, we put in the squash, and I just cut up the 1 squash, 1 winter squash butternut, and it calls for 1 to 2 cups, and my 1 butternut made 2 cups. So I just peeled it, and I cut it into cubes. So that's going to go on there. And beans. I'm going to use black beans, and I rinsed them. I just bought these. I have the organic black beans. There's nothing in here except beans, water, and sea salt. So I'm going to stick that on top here. It calls for 1 can. And then we're going to put in our chopped onion, just 1 onion chopped up. So I used a white onion, just 1 whole onion. And garlic, it calls for, this is really to taste. It calls for 3 to 4 garlic cloves, and 1 garlic clove is about half a teaspoon. I just do a scoop per garlic clove. So I'm going to put in, we like garlic, I'll put in 4 cloves. 4 scoops, 4 teaspoons. And now on top of this, we're going to go ahead and put the chicken broth. I'm going to actually, my husband and I are trying to not use as much chicken. So we're going to start using vegetable broth, and I might even try making my own. But for today, we're using just chicken broth. I'm just going to pour it all over here. And it's optional to use diced tomatoes, but since we have so many tomatoes left out on our plants that I just cut up maybe 4 tomatoes. So I'm using 2 cups. It says say you can put in 1 can of diced tomatoes. It's optional. It's for flavor and moisture. I'm just putting them in because I have a lot of them and I've got 2 cups here. Okay. So we've put in our chicken, our beans, our carrots, our squash, our onion, our garlic, our chicken broth, our tomatoes. We put in our herbs and our salt and pepper. Now this goes into the crock pot and it goes in on low for 6 to 7 hours or high for 3 to 4 hours. After that, the recipe calls to shred up the chicken and serve it with crusty bread or over rice. I will put this on my crock pot and I'll check back in with you when it's done and we'll do a taste test and see if this is delicious. I think it will be, and it's certainly healthy. This soup is done. And now I'm just going to shred up the chicken on the bottom. The soup cooked for 7 hours on low. It looks very good. It's actually a stew, but it looks more like a soup, which is fine with me. It should still be delicious. There we go. It's looking like it's nice and shredded up here. As you shred the chicken, it is thickening. It seems to be thickening the stew. It's looking really good. Okay. I decided not to put the arugula in. I don't want to use it all up because I only have one bed and I plan to make some arugula salad, so I decided to save the arugula. But I did make a special seasoned rice. So here we go. So I'm going to take my seasoned rice. It's basmati rice with a bunch of different seasonings like cinnamon and cumin and pepper and a bunch of different things. So I'm going to stick that in here. The rice is a little dry. I actually made the rice earlier. I had some appointments, so I made the rice and then I had to run out, but that's okay. The rice will be nice and hot when I add the stew to it. I'm going to use all this rice. I'm hungry. My husband's hungry. Tim and I are hungry. Let's see. Okay, I think that looks good. And then I'll take some of this yummy stew and just put it on top, maybe 3 scoops, and get some of the liquid. 2 scoops and 2 scoops of liquid. There, again, you can see it better. And here we go. Okay. Okay, so I think this soup looks beautiful. It smelled up the house with a beautiful, wonderful aroma. This is awesome that we can have artificial intelligence actually create recipes for us. It's a whole new world. May as well join it rather than fight it. Let me taste this. This is really good. This is absolutely delicious. It's got so much flavor. I think you're gonna love this. I'm gonna post the recipe. But this is a great winter, fall and winter cold day stew. And with the rice, like I said, I did season the rice. I'll also put the recipe for that. But I seasoned the rice with all sorts of savory spices. And this dish is absolutely, it's wonderful. You have to try it. And if you enjoy finding out recipes for using your homegrown vegetables, and you want things that are easy and that you can use your homegrown vegetables or even your store-bought vegetables and canned vegetables. Please follow our channel. It's Organic Oasis California, and we're in Zone 9B. And basically, we just want to create healthy meals, nutritious meals using organic ingredients and trying to grow our ingredients ourselves in our own organic backyard. That way we have control over what we're putting in our bodies and in our children's mouths, and it'll keep us healthier longer. Thanks for watching.